Alright, and we are back at it with the M37 from RE7. Really hoping we can get it finished this time. So we're going to pick up right where we left off with slicing this guy up into 3D printable parts. So we got that going, and let's see. I think we could print it with this face down. So we're going to do this little trick where I turn this into a cone. That way we can eliminate the need for support inside these little thin areas, which would otherwise be kind of difficult to remove. So I just put faces on those. We're in face mode right now. And then what I'm going to do is right click, poke faces, and then we're going to get the in vertices mode, we're going to get those center points for those faces. And then we are going to drag them out with GY to create these cones. Since most 3D printers can print up to a 45-degree incline without problems, this should create that incline so it doesn't feel the need to print support in here, since we're going to print with this face on the ground or on the print bed. With that done, let's get this one over here since we already have these nice circles to play with. Let's get this circle and C for circle select, and we can get all these vertices. Then I'm going to hit Shift D to duplicate, and P, and then we separated that selection so we can hide this point now. Now we got this, and I'm thinking if I should draw some lines out here so when we do knife project it, it'll come out like that. So let's extrude this and use GZ to go straight up. And then again, extrude GZ straight down. And let's pull this out just a little bit with GY. And does this have a face on it? It does not. So put a face on it with F, and that should be fine. Let's go ahead and hit A to select all, and then Shift N to recalculate normals, just in case. And then we'll then go into edit mode here, and then we'll control left click on that guy. And then with this orientation, we are facing, yeah. I keep forgetting. All right, back on, let's hit mesh. Wait, actually, if we do knife project now, there's that center point, so it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. All right, knife project, mesh, knife project, and not cut through. So we just need that. And I think that came out just the way we wanted. So we're going to go over here, X-ray mode, E, then right click, GY, drag it out. The further the better. The more support the steel rod we're going to put in here can provide. So let's go ahead and put our faces on here, and then right click, poke faces, and collect those vertices. GY, pull them out, and I think this one will go about here, but this one can extend a bit further. That'll just be, I'll just add some more distributing force. So that should make it a little bit stronger. And then we also need to put some supports over here, which is going to be tricky considering some of this is hollowed out. And we don't want to bump into anything, so maybe we can put one here and one here up to this point. Hmm. I'm predicting this isn't going to be my most durable prop ever, but we'll see what happens. Let's take this and pull it up here, and then we'll take the whole thing and move it over here. We'll go ahead and use these holes again. And let's go into vertices mode, and we want to put that right in the middle, of this area. And this one will go a little higher, right in the middle there too. And this is this is split down the middle. I'm pretty sure we mirrored this at some point when we were making it. So hopefully this will work and not cause too many problems. Let's go ahead and extend these beyond the borders of, on that way that doesn't create like a vertex in the middle of it. So with this guy in edit mode, control left click, there we go, and get on this orientation, mesh, knife project. So got a nice hole there, and yeah, it looks like it lined up right on the center. No problems. Alright, good, good, good. Alright, then we can take these faces, and then we'll extrude, right click GY, and this starts opening into the cavity, so let's go ahead and right click, poke faces, and then drag these faces out, like so, to help prevent the need to print any support in there, since we're going to be printing on that face. And we're gonna end up with some support in there, but it shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully we'll be able to get it all out using these openings. And it won't even need to print support in there. So yeah, it won't be too bad. It won't be too bad. And how long is this bit here? Go up to items to see, and it's 108.99, which is kind of long. My printers can handle it, but I'm a little nervous. Always a little nervous on things that are like tall and thin. But we have a pretty solid face here for bed adhesion, so it shouldn't be that big an issue. I was thinking about this. I think we'll probably have to divide this because this is going to be way longer. 204, really? Yeah, I guess so. Maybe not. We may be able to print this all in one piece. But its durability worries me a bit. Again, long towery things. Let's hide that for a moment. Let's see how thick this wall is. See if I can add any support to it. 3.1. Let me open up my notes. I forget how thick my steel rods are. Let's see, 3.7. So that is not gonna be long enough for that, but it does have that in there. Oh, this is the wrong part. I'm supposed to be checking how thickness of this one. This is even thinner. And it's hollow. I worry about the durability. Well, we'll just have to test it. If it does have any issues, I'll just have to get some really thin rods to try to reinforce it. But let's bring back our main. Where are you? There we go. Now we gotta figure out how it's gonna fit inside this hole here. You hide the pump. And this is kind of floating. Is that gonna be a problem? Boom. Alright, we don't have a top barrel actually. Because for some reason this is a bit higher than it's supposed to be. Let's deselect you. There, it looks like it'll probably fit in there. We should make absolutely sure. Those two selected. Let's check this bottom one here. It's hard to be sure which one the center point is. Text, I think that 0 means it is the center point. And let's get this one down here. Uh, 27.2. You know what? Just so we can see things clearly, let's pull this back. Back. this one, I think, is the center point. And that one is up there, so okay. 27.2. So this needs to be 26.7, so we have that 0.5 difference that allows things to slide together. I think these two, 26.6. So I did already measure those, all right. So that should fit snugly into there, no problem. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's pull this back. Because if it does fit, it'll be more like this. And I feel like we'd be missing a fair amount. But if we extend it, it's already pushing the limits to what my 3D printers can do. Oh, which worries me quite a bit. Hmm. Hmm. I already don't like how long this is. I can't currently think of a good way to divide it because we can't really reinforce it too effectively. I thought of something that we can cut it and cut it almost like a puzzle piece. That way it would have more surface area for some glue to hold it together. I'm not fond of that idea, but we might need to use it. You know what? We'll create a duplicate of this with Shift D. And let's call this underbarrel pre-cut. And then we'll use, let's hide that one. Underbarrel, let's call that the underbarrel cap. And then we will execute my dastardly plan. Let's see. Let's hit F3, get cursor to active, then hit Shift A, mesh. Let's get a plane out here. Let's say 50. Then we'll rotate it along this angle. Standing up, let's pull it out along the X a little bit. And all we really need is one side of this guy. So let's get rid of that. We'll use this, then we will subdivide twice. And then we go select those vertices. Let's go median point, scale. Let's pull those in, and then we'll extrude off to the side a bit, like so. And then we'll create another one, just a little off. And with these points, scale them in a little bit. And these will need to be 0.5 millimeters away from each other. So let's subdivide here just to get a measurement. Well, actually, we don't need to do that. We can use this point, E to extrude. Let's get snap on, G, Z. And that is almost exactly 0.5. Like, weirdly accurate. So that would work. And let's check this side. Y, that one needs to be taken in a little bit, or we can raise it up. Let's raise it up to 0.5. That way those pieces should snugly fit together. And I don't want to interfere with this magnet, so let's move this a little downward here. Oh, I just thought of how we're going to set these magnets in place. Oh, they're on the outside. I thought they were on the inside for a second. That should be fine. Never mind. Never mind. So this is 0.5. Let's check this one. GY.7. So let's pull this in. Actually, let's leave that there for us to measure. Let's get this too. We'll pull that in, so it's just 0.5. And honestly, I don't even think this measurement even matters. But let's just get that on there. And so from here, we can, where's our thing? There, and go into edit mode, control, left click, and then we will knife project. And this time cut through. So now we got that going. And now we have to open up these faces. Both sides. And boom, boom, boom. Gotta go on the inside as well. Ooh, what happened there? That's weird. Control Z. Let's try that again. I'm not sure why that didn't cut like the other side. Let's try Shift A to select all, and then Shift N to recalculate the normals. Maybe that'll help, unless there's some internal geometry stuff going on that I am not aware of. But that should have cut just fine. Let's try that again. Mesh, cut through. It's still doing it. I mean, this side's doing perfectly. Well, why aren't you? I think we can manually put that in. Subdivide here. Hit this guy, GY. Here. And you should be connected up here. Let's get rid of that face and these. This vertex here. And looks like that one's fine. These are not. And this one we extend over here. And then goes together. Let's try to get a center camera. These two, put a line between them, and then we can, oh gosh, I had a brain fart. I can't even think of what I was doing. Oh yeah, hit period. That way our camera is centered on this point. So we should be able to look back and forth easier. Alright, and now we got that going. So this one's like this. Exactly like that one. Okay, so let's seal up this face. I think it's good now. Alright. Like that one. Yeah, I think so. And does this one have another line? Don't believe so. So let's get these guys together. Fill in that face. Fill in that face. And I think that should correct that little issue. Alright, so let's try to hollow this out again. And I am holding Alt, Shift, and left click. And then to select individual faces, I'm holding Shift and left clicking on these. And then back to Alt, Shift, left click. And then Shift, left click. All those, these. Yep. There. There. Okay. Let's make sure. Don't have anything we don't want. I think that should do, and we're gonna get rid of the faces. And then we gotta seal these guys up. So this shouldn't be too hard. In edge mode, I'm gonna select all of these, right? And that'll be a face. Right. And then these two, be a face. And then these two edge loops. Without selecting this one, and we will bridge the edge, or we can just hit face. Let's take this one, face. That one worked out. Face. Looking up. Didn't work as well as I thought. We left out that guy and this one. And if that's true for one side, it's probably true for the other. Oh, no, that one's fine. I got this one, this one, this one, this one. And these two. Ugh. Don't want the rest of that. X-ray mode. Just putting a face there. So I think we need to put an extra edge right in there to convince that that is a face. These two as well. There we go. Okay. You know, it'd probably be a lot easier if we just separated these. Now that they're not together. They're still connected. Let's get rid of these edges. Edges. Okay, now, hopefully we got one side. All right. P, underbarrel. Let's call this underbarrel back, and we'll call you underbarrel forward, or 4. Yeah, so I guess we'll print it from this face. And those should hook into each other, and then we can put super glue on there, and that should hold them. Hopefully that'll be strong enough. Hopefully. So let's hide this one so we can focus on one at a time. Face over here. Face over here. Face over here. And then one more face there. And that one looks like it's already got its faces. Alright, so that's 1. Let's get 4. Let's just get all these, face, get all these, face. Face, oop. Face. Face. think that about does it. Let's go ahead and recalculate our normals for both of these. And I feel a lot more comfortable printing those much shorter pieces and gluing them together. Hopefully that's strong enough. And now that that is shorter, we can go ahead and extend this out. Don't want to bump into that. But now we can extend it around here-ish. So it can actually go in and we could super glue those two bits together. And this one will be PVC, so we're not even going to bother with it, though. You know, I do want to take photos of the piece for the these how-to vids for the thumbnail, so I'll go ahead and just put a barrel in there. Just for the visuals. And you know what? We should separate this. Name it barrel, which we will not have to print. Okay. And were there other concerns? I think the spring might need to be shrunk down a bit. And also, how is it going to connect to the pump again? Pump. So originally it was just going to be pressed by this bit in here, but I think we actually need to attach the spring to it. Otherwise, if it goes back, it's not going to take the spring with it. So we need to attach those together. And how do I intend to do that? Not only do I think it needs to shrink, because this, I guess that's hidden, but our paddle is probably going to be in the way. More paddle. It's parented to this breech paddle. There it is. Okay, so the spring, if it goes up here, actually, that'll be back, so it actually won't interfere with that at all, will it? So that's a good thing. One less thing to worry about. So hopefully the spring will be flexible enough to go up there. That'll require some testing. And we also need to get the spring to attach to this guy somehow. So since it's kind of this, see if we can get our spring and panel. And let's hide most of this outer shell. Is this the spring? It's quite thin. But either way, let's hide this. And this is a kind of a round face. I'm not sure why I did that. Maybe just to make things smooth. But either way, we need a flat area. Thinking, let's see, S for scale, Y, and then numpad 0. Flatten that out. I don't actually like that. So my idea is to extend the spring. What's this? 1.7. So let's extend this out another 1.7. And then, pretty sure that's the center, right? Yeah, it's pretty close. Then we can have a bit that drops down like this. I'm going to hit S, Z, 0 just to flatten out that face. And this part may hook onto or be glued onto maybe a loop or just directly glued onto that bit. So if it's inside the pump, it might be a little hard to get to, so we're probably not going to be able to hook it. But we can make a recess in here that might be able to handle it. What is going on over here? This isn't mirrored. Why does this look like that? This also has that going on. Delete that vertice. Open this up. Just fill those back in. What about the bottom then? This one has this going on. This is kind of awkward. But that must have been mirrored at some point. So it does do that sometimes. So let's get that closed up. And let's do half. In case I need to mirror anything again. Yeah. Should be okay. And then we gotta do something similar over here. Wait, and are there two up here as well? Yep, there are two up here as well. We'll just snap, and then we have auto merge on, so that'll go right into that without issue. That one seems okay. Alright, let's just fill in this face here. And so from there, whoop. So with that central idea in mind, let's go ahead and push this over, GY or GX, and with snap-on we got that. And then we'll take these faces and extend them a little bit, say 3 millimeters worth. And then we can take that. Let's Shift D to duplicate. I'll bring it over here, and then hit P, separate selection. Let's click on just this. Then we need to shrink this by no, we have to extend it by 0.5 on the top and bottom and the sides. That way this can fit snugly in there. So from 2.23, let's go to 2.73, and we'll just take it up to 0.8. And then we'll do similarly here. Got 11.8. So we'll go up to 12.3. And we'll just go up to 12.4. Just to give us a little bit of wiggle room. Then we'll extend these out to the sides. 2.3. Let's go up to 2.3. Seemed like a lot. But that's what my calculations are saying. Alright, take this one out as well. 1 point, so that'll be 1.8, 1.9. Let's go out. Okay. And now with that in place, we should be able to knife project the shape. Really don't need these. Into this area. So let's get that in edit mode, then control, click here, forward orientation, mesh, knife project. Don't need to cut through. Got that on there. Ooh. It's not wide enough. That is unfortunate. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. Guess we'll have to shrink this down a bit, unfortunately. GX, or yeah, GX. Yeah, GX. Okay, let's bring it down. Where is it now? 0.7. So we'll bring it down to 1. I don't like doing that. Making it kind of thin for my liking. But this just has to push the thing back and forth, so it doesn't have to be super durable, hopefully. Let's try that again. And Shift D. GY to bring it out front a little bit. Let's get both these in edit so we can see. GX 1.8. Let's just pull that to 1.9. It's just 1, so 1.5. 6. You know, since we already have that 1.8, 5 should be fine. Should be fine. 2.2, so 2.7. Let's bring that up to an 8. Let's bring this down. 12.2. Let's say 12.3. And let's go ahead and separate. With this guy. Edit mode. Control left click. Let's try that again. Yeah, we're well in it this time. And then how wide? Oh. How long did this need to be? This is 3. So, this will have to go down 3.5. A little awkward, but I think it'll work. Selecting these. Should be fine. Let's extend her back. And then let's hit S, Y, numpad 0 to flatten all those faces. And 3.5. Okay, so that bit in here should slot in there, and we can super glue it, and that will hopefully be strong enough. Oh my. These walls are so thin. But they have support in the back, so shouldn't be too big of a problem. Okay, and I don't think we need this guy anymore, so I'll go ahead and delete. So the spring, it will attach to that. Let's make sure the spring is actually long enough. The spring, if it is set in here, will go up there. I feel like we could add another segment to the spring. How long is the spring? 107. It's not too bad. So let's say, I think that's about right. Shift D to duplicate. GY, let's turn snap on. Make this our active and snap it over to this guy. That should be all right. And then let's take everything with A and clean up merge by distance. Should be fine. We need to get rid of any internal geometry there. Turn off edge links. There's some more here. Get rid of that face. Another one. I think that about does it, so I'm going to Shift 9 to recalculate those normals. Okay, so when pumped out, yeah, this should have plenty of room for the shell to get in there. And it should help compress the spring as well. Let's make sure the shell can actually fit. What are these lines? I think they're just measurements rather than faces. Let's get rid of that one. I'm pretty sure that's a measurement. Alright, so we got that going. Oh, we got another shell. Get rid of that one for a second. So we have this. Let's see if the shell is going to be able to fit in there. So we have our paddle. Oh, that's the widest. Let's get rid of this reference. Hiding it, and yeah, one of those vertices. Then let's extend it out to this wall here. How far is that? The edge link's back on 19.5. And I'm pretty sure our shell is a bit wider than that. Unfortunate. So while that's there, seeing if that's going to matter all that much, I think we are going to have to shrink the shell, unfortunately. So we will just scale that down. 21, 19.5. So let's make it, I guess, 18.7 maybe? Scale it down, 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 down. Not a huge sacrifice, but a bit. Hopefully that'll work out. And, that might be it. We might actually be ready to start trying to print this beast out. Let's see, we got this, we got that. It's printable. Those parts should be in decent shape. Alright, well, I'm going to start printing. We will probably have to do edits, but yeah, I think that's most of it. I think that is most of it. Alright, thanks for tuning in. And if you don't want to go through all this modeling, I do have the STL files needed to print all of my 3D printable props available to supporters over on my Patreon. We currently have over 40 props available and are adding more all the time. This prop will also be made available once it's finished. So if you'd like to skip the modeling and gain access to an entire armory of 3D printable props, check out my Patreon, link in the description. It is only $5 a month and you gain access to the entire armory of over 40 props. Staying a member ensures you get access to everything new added to the armory immediately and of course, very much helps support the channel. Speaking of supporting, we have to show our gratitude to M. John Simon, a real hero of the channel, supporting at the hero tier.
Become a hero to get yourself special mention in these very videos, and as always, like and subscribe to ensure you never miss out on the next video. Until then, I have been Ken with Kenjutsu Bring It to Life, and I am out.